When we come home from vacation, we bring only memories. No credit card debt that we're still paying off 3 months later. No overdrawn accounts waiting for us when we walk through the door. No financial regret sitting in the back of our minds while we're supposed to be enjoying our last day of vacation. We know exactly what we're coming home with because we planned every dollar before we left. We know what we can add in spontaneously. We know what the whole trip costs, and we can enjoy every single moment without that low-level financial anxiety running in the background. But that didn't happen by accident. And it didn't happen because we make a lot of money. It happened because we stopped letting summer happen to us and we started planning it on purpose. In my last video, I showed you the exact spreadsheet that I used to do that. Today, I want to talk to you about why most summer budgets fail. Because it's not what most people think. If you're not sure why your budget is failing or what your money problem is, I have a free quiz linked below. It takes about 2 minutes and it'll tell you exactly what's going on. Most people think summer budgets fail because they overspend. And that's partially true, but it's actually a both and problem. Problem 1, people don't plan for what summer actually costs. Problem 2, people overspend on things that don't even matter to them. And those two things together, that's how you get to August broke with nothing to show for it. Let me show you what I mean. Summer has a predictable cost. It always has. Every year, there's camp fees, vacation, back to school shopping, activities. The kids being home more means they're eating more food in your house, more snacks, more everything. None of that is a surprise. It happens every single summer. But most people don't plan for it in January or February or even May. They just hope it works out. And then June arrives. Camp starts in 2 weeks and suddenly you're scrambling. Or you go on vacation, a trip you've been looking forward to all year. And then you get home and realize you spent $800 more than you planned. And you don't know where that money's going to come from. And you don't know where that money went. It's not reckless. It's just what happens when there's no plan and when you're not paying attention. The fix is simple. Sit down before summer starts, ideally in the spring, maybe earlier, but whenever. Write down every summer expense that you expect. Put it all in one place. You can see that full number, and then you can make real decisions. You can decide what to cut. You can decide what to keep. You can figure out what actually matters. But you can't make any of those decisions if you don't ever even look at the number. Here's the second problem. And this one is my favorite to talk about because no one says it out loud. Vacation with kids, especially little kids, is not a vacation. It's parenting in a different location. Often in a very expensive location. Your kids are tired. You're tired. Everyone is overstimulated. You've been in the car for 6 hours, or the airport, or the theme park since 8 a.m. And now it's 1 p.m. and everyone is melting down. And you're standing in front of a restaurant you didn't plan to stop at, and you're ordering something because it's your only option. So your kid eats 3 bites and you just spent $18 on 3 bites of chicken nuggets. That's not a you problem. That's what happens when you're making decisions, when you're exhausted and overstimulated. And those are the worst possible conditions for making good financial decisions. And that's where summer budgets die. Not in one big moment, in 100 small, exhausted ones. The fix? Make the decisions before you're exhausted. If you pack a bag with granola bars and string cheese and snacks and water bottles before you leave, you don't have to make that decision at 1 p.m. when everyone is melting down. You just reach into your bag. Everyone gets a snack. No one spends $18 on 3 bites of chicken nuggets. And then you can spend that money on a meal that actually matters to you, a dinner you planned at a restaurant you researched that everyone will actually enjoy. That's not deprivation, that's intentional. Here's what I've learned after years of family travel. The decisions that you make before you leave are almost always better than the decisions that you make in the moment. Before you leave, you're more calm. You're thinking more clearly. You know your budget. You know your kids. You know what actually matters to your family. In the moment, you're tired, someone is crying, and you just want peace. And you'll spend $18 to get it. So make the decisions before you leave. Pack the snacks. Research the restaurants. Know which meals you're eating out and which ones you're not. Which activities you're paying for and which ones you're skipping. Know what your day costs before the day starts. That's what the Trip Planner tab in my spreadsheet does. You map out every day before you go. Meals, activities, costs, all of it. So that when 1 p.m. hits and everyone is tired, you already know what's happening. You reach into the bag, you follow the plan, and you save the restaurant money for the dinner that's actually worth it. This is exactly what the summer planning spreadsheet is built for. Tab 1 gives you the full picture of what summer costs before it starts. Tab 2 helps you plan every day of every trip before you leave, so you're not making decisions from scratch when you're tired. Tab 3 gives you a budget category, so you know exactly what you can spend. It's free. It's a Google Sheet. 1 click and you can have your own copy. Click the link below and get started today. Summer doesn't have to cost more than you planned. The fix isn't willpower, and it isn't being better with money. It's making the right decisions before you're too tired to make good ones. Plan before summer starts. Pack before you leave. Decide once, and then enjoy most of the moments, because the goal isn't to spend less. The goal is to come home with memories and nothing else. Grab my free summer planning spreadsheet by clicking the link below. And if you missed my last video where I walk through the whole spreadsheet, watch that one right here. That's where this all really starts. I'll walk you through it.